2025 is already over, and thank God for that. But also, it has been a very, very eventful year when it comes to pop culture and when it comes to memes. So I thought to myself that it would be very fun to close the year with a final video ranking all of these pop culture moments. Hello, my name is Freyr. I'm your favorite local Forest Glemon and a Polish sociology student. And I want to welcome you to my little corner of the internet where I discuss all forms of popular media that interest me, whether that's books, TV shows, or music. And today, as you might have guessed from the title of this video, we're going to be ranking some of the 2025 pop culture and meme moments. This year, I've gathered 31 moments that we're going to be ranking. Some of them were submitted by you in the forms I put out on my Twitter and my YouTube community tab, which thanks to all of the people who submitted in those. And some of them are just like little obscure moments that I personally found very funny and I wanted to talk about. So I'm just bringing them up now. But before we get into the ranking of it all and the mess of it all, honestly, I would quickly like to encourage you to please subscribe to my channel. Most of you watching are not subscribed, and that is very, very sad. Why would you do that to me? You can also like the video. You can comment down below your thoughts about my ranking and your favorite pop culture moments of 2025. And you can also follow me on all of my other socials, which include Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. This tier list is of course going to be a little biased because I'm the one making it and it's based on my opinions personally, so yours might look a little bit differently. So yeah, I mean, trigger warning for opinions, I guess. And with that, I think we can start introducing the tiers. At the very bottom we have the Cardi B court case photos, which are for the worst moments of the year. Not to label Miss Cardi B as such, because I love her and all of those photos were incredible. Whenever she does anything, it's iconic and it's so funny. But I specifically think of like these court case photos where she is very, very clearly just like so annoyed and so just like out of it. She doesn't want to be there. She's just like, whatever. That's kind of how I feel about the pop culture moments that are going to be landing in this tier. They happened. I don't care for it. I honestly don't really want to talk about them really, but I will because I have to, I guess. The next tier is called What the Hell? Sure. Basically how I feel about the moments that are going to be ending up in this tier. This is where all of the like the very, very mid, very just like uninteresting to me personally, or just like slightly annoying, but like not actively bad moments are gonna be landing. The third tier is called I Forgot, inspired by a meme I found on Pinterest. And yeah, I basically forgot about these moments. They just happened. They were fine, I guess. I probably forgot about them. Also, this is where the moments that I don't really have an opinion on are gonna land, or where maybe I don't have enough literacy to like discuss them properly. This is kind of the place where they're gonna be landing. Next, we have the Yassified to Maintain Anonymity tier. This is basically where all of my like sneak favorites are gonna be landing. These moments might not be the favorites of the crowd, but they're the favorites of mine. And that's why they have an entire dedicated tier in this video. And our last tier is gonna be inspired by the best meme of 2023. That of course being the Lisa Rinna being portrayed as an M&M's. This is where all of the best, most juicy, most fun, most iconic moments of the year are going to be landing. And I mean, I don't really think there's much explanation to be given here. These moments are iconic, just like the M&M's version of Lisa Rinna. And with that, I think we can start. The first moment that we're going to be ranking is, I would say, one of the things that sort of defined 2025, and that is the Jet to Holiday sound.
Nothing beats a Jet to Holiday.
Honestly, the sound of the year. And weirdly enough, I actually didn't get bored of it. As you might notice when we go through some of the later pop culture moments, my attention span is very, very like low. It's very difficult to keep me like engaged with something for a longer amount of time. So the fact that I still haven't gotten bored of it is honestly like a feat of its own. But honestly, I feel like this sound encapsulates perfectly what 2025 as a year was. Like everything was falling apart, and then suddenly you have some of, you know, the weirdest, funniest things happening at the same time. Like that's kind of what the sound encapsulates, in my opinion. I loved the Jet to Holiday trend, mostly because every single video you would see of it would be like one of the wildest like flops or fails or accidents or just like things to happen that like you are genuinely questioning like what the hell you just saw. It never really ended because people kept on posting more and more, and every single one was crazier than the previous. And I think that's why I didn't get bored of it. This trend kept me on my toes. I was constantly engaged in it. I was watching these videos. I was laughing at them. I was being surprised by many of them. I honestly loved this trend. I definitely understand how this sound could have gotten annoying for people. Personally, though, I would disagree. I don't think it was that annoying. And I also love that xofreyr is finally getting her coin. Like, go off, queen. The Jet to Holiday trend lands itself in the Lisa Rinna Eminem tier. This next moment that we're going to be talking about honestly made me very, very proud to be Polish, because whenever my country makes headlines, it's always like some of the stupidest, weirdest shit you can possibly think of. Like, this country is a full-blown circus. And then you have a random Twitter user saying, in Poland, when you are 19, you are tested to see if you can serve. This is the best press that has happened to my country since that one FNAF meme was born. You know the one.
O cholera, czy to Freddy Fazbear? Oh.
Also, isn't it crazy that that meme was literally featured in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie? The second one? Like, I was gagged. I saw it in cinemas and I was like, what the fuck? And also, funnily enough, this is 100% correct. In Poland, when you're 19, you are tested to see if you can serve in the army. I don't really know how other countries do it or if they have like mandatory military checkups. I know we do. And I've been through mine. Let's just say that it was fucking terrifying. These people were so rude to me. One of them screamed at me, and the like psychologist or someone who was like talking with me to like evaluate my mental health was considering lowering my grade because I told her that I'm gay. So it was a very, very interesting experience to go through. But honestly, I love that my trauma is now like getting made into a meme. I love that. I love any trend where it's basically a prompt that is used to show your favorites serving. Like, people were using this for like K-pop fan cams. They were using this for different artists who were like performing. Basically, the phrase of "she just turned 19 in Poland" became very, very iconic this year. And I love that. That made me so proud to be Polish. I also actually turned 19 in Poland last year, and I don't really think I was like serving when I was 19. I don't think so. But anyway, so whenever Poland makes a headline that isn't like related to homophobia, pollution, or government corruption, I'm down for it. And this was a really, really fun moment. I enjoyed this so much. Turning 19 in Poland lands itself in the Lisa Rinna Eminem tier. Next, we have to talk about one of the biggest moments of the year, I would say, just in general. Like, I don't think anybody can really deny how big this was. And that is, of course, K-pop Demon Hunters. Honestly, I really liked this film. It was good. I gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd because I really, really enjoyed it the first time I saw it. The next few times I saw it, I wasn't like really that crazy about it. It's just a good like animated film with some fun music. But honestly, the more popular it got, the like more like detached I became from it. Like, I just very, very quickly jumped off of the hype train because I saw how much traction it kept on getting and how many people got very, very annoying about it very quickly. I was just like, okay. So maybe let's walk like 2 steps back. It kind of reminded me of like Wednesday getting popular back in the day with like season 1, when everybody was doing like the Bloody Mary sped up dance and you had all the cosplays and all the shit. Like, it was just everywhere and it got very annoying very, very quickly. And I kind of think that was honestly the case for this. Also, the music. Okay, I don't think the soundtrack was bad. I actually think that there are some very, very good songs on it. However, I don't understand why the songs that topped the charts were the songs that topped the charts. I don't also understand why they were there for so long, like Golden, Soda Pop. Okay, no, Soda Pop I can almost like understand why it's so bad because it's meant to be annoying. It's meant to be bad. It's meant to be annoying. It's meant to be catchy. That's kind of the point of it. I understand that. But Golden is just like the most mediocre song you will ever hear. And it's so uninteresting. It's so bland. It's so boring. I just don't see why that song specifically has been like the #1 hit from K-pop Demon Hunters. I don't get it. You have songs like Your Idol or How It's Done on that soundtrack and that's the hit. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. On the other hand, though, I really liked the animation of this one. In general, I really enjoy animated media, and I think the more we see of it, the better. And I think it always brings up this really, I think, important conversation about like real artists and how hard it is to be an animator. So for that, I definitely like this film, and I'm definitely gonna be like sad for the second part whenever it comes out. I'm gonna be excited. I think so, but I think I just need everybody to chill a little with this one. K-pop Demon Hunters is gonna land in the I forgot tier because it's just there for me. I didn't really like love it. I didn't also really hate it. Like I was just kind of in the middle. So I think that's just kind of the appropriate tier for that. Now, it might be hard to remember because this was like ages ago to me personally, but the Emilia Perez Oscar campaign happened this year. That means that the internet's fascination with this horrible film also falls on 2025. Now, yes, the film, horrible. I've seen it once and I want that 2 hours or like however long it was. I actually don't remember how long it was. I just want that time back. I feel like I wasted it. I could have done something way more productive with that time. Like for example, I don't know, go to sleep because I saw it in the middle of the night because I was just like, I don't know, vibing, I guess. I don't know, my sleep schedule is just weird in general though. However, I do also think that the treatment that Emilia Perez received from the internet was very funny. My favorite part was that one little song going slightly viral. You know the song about like a sex change operation.
I'd like to know about sex change operation.
From penis to vagina. People memed la vaginoplastia to death, and every single one of those memes was hilarious. My favorite though was these two guys that decided to do this a cappella version of la vaginoplastia.
Man to woman, from penis to vagina.
I could barely breathe when I first saw that. Like I was losing it. Another highlight for me personally was because I am a Drag Race fan and I also love Trixie and Katya, how dedicated Katya was to hating on this film. I think that Emilia Perez is gonna land in the I forgot tier because the music and the film was bad and the acting was bad and everything was bad about it, but at least it was funny and the internet gave it a little like whimsy that made it slightly more enjoyable. The next submission is this one actually was submitted a lot in the forums, and I kind of hate you guys for submitting this because I fully forgot about this, and having to research this and like take screenshots of it, I was just like, ooh, girl. And that is of course the buff guy's routine on Twitter. So first of all, I do not remember the name of this guy. I think I wrote it down somewhere in my notes, but then I must have like accidentally deleted it. But also I don't care enough to go and like find it. Basically what it was there was this guy who posted like a very crazy daily routine video, I think to his Instagram, and then it got reposted to Twitter, and there it kind of blew up, where there was these like insane time marks of him doing like very weird shit. Like at one point he was like doing push-ups, then like 5 minutes later he was like eating a steak or something, then he was like working, and then he would like dip his face in like ice cold water. I can understand why so many people were talking about this, but at the same time, this got boring so quickly. I feel like everybody ran out of things to say about this video so quickly, but they just kept on talking the same things over and over again for like weeks. This video haunted my For You page on Twitter. Well, I think it's timeline on Twitter, it doesn't matter. It haunted me for actual weeks because everybody kept on bringing it up, and I was like, fuck, let me live. I don't care. People were making full-on like video essays about this guy. I'm just like, it just felt like beating a dead horse at some points, and I got very tired of it very quickly. The buff guy daily routine on Twitter goes into the Cardi B court case photos. I hate this moment, and I never really cared about it in the beginning. I want to forget about this. This was just a mess. Now, moving on to a slightly funnier moment, I would say, is the presence of Corey King on the internet in the year of 2025. I loved Corey King on Drag Race. I was such a big fan. I was rooting for her. Unfortunately, her run didn't really end that well, but did she make money out of it? So basically, Corey King made a very, very big name for herself thanks to her Cameo activity and the fact that she would do different characters on Cameo. It got to a point where people would be making like entire encyclopedias of different characters and the lore that she would give them. It was hilarious. Her character collections included, for example, Corey Jackson, who, by the way, she dressed us at the Emmys. Then you also had Corey Shrek, which gave us this iconic video.
Yes, my pussy's green.
Then you had Corey Erivo, Corey Toot, my personal favorite. I loved Corey Toot. You also had Corey Boo Boo, Corey Siwa, which that was funny because she did both bad girl Corey Siwa and good girl Corey Siwa, which was so hilarious. And then you also had Corey Williams and Corey Burner, which that one was criminal. I love Corey so much. She is so much fun. Everything she does is just hilarious to me. I need her back on a season of Drag Race ASAP. I need her just like on every season of Drag Race, actually. She is hilarious to me. Corey King lands herself in the Lisa Rinna M&M's tier. Now, another one of the funniest moments of the year for me personally was, of course, baby Twitter. I actually don't think most of you are gonna remember that this happened, but I was so into it when it first happened. It was hilarious to me. Basically, what it was a bunch of Twitter users out of like, I guess boredom or something, decided to suddenly start tweeting like they were babies. And it gave us some of the funniest tweets of the year. It was hilarious. My personal favorite was when somebody tweeted, "Yo, my mom just disappeared when we played peekaboo. What the fuck?" And then they accompany with that gif of that. This was so good that even I participated in it, even though my personal tweets in this specific Twitter hashtag kind of flopped, but that doesn't matter. I still have fun with it. This lasted for like a few weeks, I think, until it faded. And I mean, I don't think most people remember it now, but to me, this was one of the funniest things that happened this year. I had so much fun with this. I'm gonna put baby Twitter in the Yassify to maintain anonymity tier because I don't think most of you remember this happened, but personally, this was one of my highlights of the year. So I think this is where my bias is sort of speaking, so I think this is the perfect place for it. Now, 2025 was also the year of Wicked for Good. As it was last time when we saw the first part of Wicked be released, a lot of very, very iconic things happen around it. I personally have two moments that I want to rank, but there's also one that happened like very, very recently that has been sort of picking up steam, and I didn't print out a picture for it. I also didn't take notes for it. And that is the SpongeBob musical started to blow up because of Ethan Slater's performance in it.
But it keeps on trying.
I think that the dance trend around this specific song from the SpongeBob musical is very, very funny, and I really enjoy it. I've been liking these videos. Also, sometimes like very, very hot guys are doing those, so like, you know. But there are some other things that need to be ranked when it comes to the Wicked for Good movie release or press run. And the first one of those is, of course, Madame Morrible, Flip It Around, Wicked Witch.
Madame Morrible, flip it around, Wicked Witch.
Madam Marvel.
Down, Wicked Witch.
Yeah, oh my God.
Flip it around, Wicked Witch.
This is my version of 6'7". Like, this is the gay, actually like culturally literate and culturally relevant version of 6'7", in my opinion. And I prefer that. This is Michelle Yeoh's version of there could be 100 people in the room. You know, that quote from Lady Gaga. The moment that somebody put it out, I was like, oh my God, it is. I also love that she found her like new vocal stim. It has been my vocal stim as well. I've been doing this constantly. And also, I just know that when this woman first thought about this, there was like a light bulb that lighted above her head. And she was like, oh my God. This could have gotten very annoying very quickly, but it didn't. And I think there are several factors at play here, mostly because of how creative people got with this. This is just a random quote that she kept on repeating and people run with it. Like it was it was genuinely impressive to see how many things came from this. My personal favorite was when somebody did the Madame Morrible flip it around, whatever major loser.
Whatever major loser.
I screamed when I first saw that. But honestly, I am very, very thankful for this meme because many people were not very, very nice to Michelle Yeoh, let's say, because of her performance in Wicked. I personally don't think it was like that bad. Like, yeah, of the singing, yeah, she's not a singer and you can tell. But like acting wise, I thought that she did like a good job. And I honestly love Michelle Yeoh on my screen whenever she pops up. I love her. So honestly, I'm very, very fine with this happening. I'm so happy that she's getting her like little meme moment too. Good for her. Snaps for Michelle Yeoh. Madame Morrible Flip It Around Wicked Witch is gonna land in the Lisa Rinna Eminem tier. The second thing that came from the Wicked for Good release was the resurgence of very, very funny videos of Cynthia Erivo, which I would like to label as the concepts of Cynthia Erivo. I think Cynthia might have created my favorite memes of the year. Like just in general, the concepts of Cynthia Erivo is my favorite meme of the year. This has been so funny, genuinely hilarious. And it also proves to me that like not only is Cynthia an incredibly talented artist and performer, but also she's a meme legend. I love her. Honestly, you could never make me hate her. I know some people were very, very rude for her. Specifically during the Wicked for Good release, I feel like many people started hating on her for absolutely no reason. But I'm very, very happy that she's also getting like meme notoriety with these videos because I just love them so much. Everything she does, every reaction she has to anything is so over the top. And like you can tell that's a musical theater kid. Like I love that. My personal favorite of the concepts of Cynthia Erivo videos would be the one where she gets like asked a question by like an interviewer or something and she can't quite respond to it because it's like a secret or something. I don't remember what exactly it was. And she just turns to the camera and like smiles awkwardly with her teeth and she's like, pissed myself the first time I saw that. One of my favorites was also when she's like tapping her fingers on her head to like think of something. And the way that I started doing that and it actually works, it like stimulates my brain in the right way. Like, thank you, Cynthia, for that. There's also one that came from that same interview where she's doing this, where she's like, which is hilarious. Then there was also the one where she got like, I don't know. I think surprised when she was like being interviewed with other castmates from Wicked, and she was just like jumping like crazy. There was also the video reaction of her finding out that a fan in Paris had her hat from like the previous Wicked press run. Which, first of all, I didn't even know that there was like a hat that she lost during that press run, and I didn't remember that hat. But her reaction to that, just going like, immaculate. This woman is epic. This woman is iconic. I love her to death. She is so funny. And also these videos that she created are so flexible. You can use them to literally anything and it's gonna work. I love it. The concepts of Cynthia Erivo, of course, are gonna land in the Lisa Rinna Eminem tier. Now we're gonna talk about one moment that I personally didn't really care for, and that was the Coldplay kiss cam incident. So basically what happened was two people got caught cheating at a Coldplay concert because there was like a kiss cam that pointed to them and they were like hugging and dancing. And it turns out the guy was like a CEO of like a very, very big corporation. And the woman is like head of HR in that corporation. And they're both like married with children to not each other, but like to other people. Again, this is another one of those moments where I understand why this was so controversial and why so many people were talking about it. Again, cheating is bad. And there was also a lot of talk about like the power dynamics and stuff like that. I understand, but all of that could have been said in like the first few hours of that photo going viral. And we really didn't have to do the fucking days of discourse that this caused. My Twitter timeline, again, was just that photo or like articles related to that photo for days. I got so tired of that to the point that I was just like muting the words that were like related to that incident. I was just so not into it. Like, give me a break. This is gonna go into the what the hell sure tier. I really didn't care about this whatsoever. But there was one other moment on Twitter this year that I actually did really care for, and that is the Tiny Chef Show cancellation. This is unironically one of the most like wholesome and also one of the funniest moments of the entire year. Basically what happened was there's this animated show on, I think it's Nickelodeon, that is called the Tiny Chef Show. And the creators of said show, like the animators of said show, reacted to the news that they were getting cancelled for the next season, that they were going to be returning for the next season, and then animated like a very, very short clip of the Tiny Chef reacting to the cancellation.
Cancelled? Right, I understand. I love you too.
That clip, of course, went viral on Twitter, and many people were being like outraged by the fact that he's so cute. Why don't they bring him back for next season? This started petitions, this started entire hashtags, entire campaigns, to the point that the Tiny Chef Show got renewed for a new season. This was just in general like a genius move, in my opinion. Like, this was so smart, such a like 3D chess move, because you know, when that video gets posted to the internet, immediately people are going to be like, hey, don't cancel this show. People are going to be mad. But I don't think even the creators of said show knew how much outrage this would cause and how many people would be like, oh my God, now I'm going to go and watch the Tiny Chef Show, and are going to be like campaigning for it to come back for the next season. This was so fun. And also one of the only, like, I would say, moments of like internet unity in 2025. The Tiny Chef Show cancellation goes into the Yassified to maintain anonymity tier. Now, when it comes to some of my favorite content creators of the year, I think you have to just give a shout out to the potluck judge lady.
Hi, I'm Vida, and I brought the cranberry sauce.
Death row! Next.
Her name is Shai_food, I believe, on Instagram and on TikTok. And she went very, very viral this year for starting a court for people bringing food to different potlucks. I have been following this girl for a while, and honestly, I think I've watched every single one of her videos, like from front to back. Also, talking about some of my vocal stems, her yelling death row has definitely become one of mine. I love how she introduces new like torture and execution methods in like different videos, and how much like the lore of her court almost like expanded. You have different lawmakers, you have prosecutors, you have law firms, you have Uber drivers, you have Lyft drivers, at times moms, dentists being punished, you have vacations to like Barbados. I love the little like elements she keeps on introducing in her videos. I find them so funny. I do, however, feel very sad for like the Uber drivers that have been executed because of this court, because like, you know, it's not really their fault that their client brought shitty food to a potluck, but no, I'm not the judge, so I can really argue with that. The potluck judge lands herself in the Lisa Rinna M&M's tier. Another one of my favorite content creators of the year was this random guy on TikTok that decided to become a shy rapper.
I mean, fuck, I like pills, I like drugs, I like getting money, I like strippers, I like to fuck.
His name is Eric_rapper, and he went viral earlier this year for rapping different songs with the twist that he's shy. This guy was like everything to me for like 2 months straight, and then TikTok stopped showing me his videos and I became very, very sad. But every single time his video would pop on my For You page, I would watch it in full. And then when people ask me what I do in my free time, I have trouble responding because how do I explain this? I love the tone he raps in. I also love his like facial expressions, which he does. It's so funny. He found like the perfect like combination that just works for these videos. And the different songs he would cover while doing this act are just... My favorite one would probably be his WAP cover by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. That one cracked me up.
Wet ass pussy, make that pull-out game weak. Ah.
Yeah, no, I love his content. He is so much fun. The shy rapper from TikTok lands himself in the Yassified tier because I don't think most of you remember this guy, but I will forever and always be his #1 fan, okay? Now, you might be thinking to yourself, why am I now sitting in a different place? Why is my board not here? And I have an explanation. Basically, I forgot about one of the most important moments of the entire year. And I do partially blame myself, but also I do blame you guys because I have received dozens of submissions for this video and no one brought this up. And I'm like scratching my head thinking about like, how is that even possible to forget? And that is, of course, the Louvre heist. This was probably one of my favorite moments of the entire year, and I still somehow managed to forget about it. Great. The short of it is a group of people managed to get into the Louvre and steal jewelry that was worth around $102 million. And they also did that in like 10 minutes, which honestly, kind of impressive, not gonna lie. This was deeply unserious to me, mostly because like, how is the Louvre of all places so poorly secured? Like how was that even possible? There are also a lot of funny things that came out of this heist. A lot of people were making Carmen Sandiego jokes, but my personal favorite thing to come out of this whole thing was when people would post on TikTok their how I spent my day in Paris videos. Basically, the premise was that they would be posting like photos or videos of themselves in Paris and they would somehow edit in the stolen jewelry from the Louvre. In places, it was like so seamless that like you wouldn't even notice at first. Some people went a little bit too over the top with it, but either way, whatever the approach was, I was laughing, I was cackling. Another funny thing that came out of this was when people started putting the stolen jewelry on apps like Vinted to try and sell it. That was so deeply unserious. But this only got even more fun when people started making the Louvre heist aesthetics. Actually, no, I've said before that my favorite thing was the how I spend my day in Paris videos. No, actually my favorite thing to come out of this whole event was the headcanons for the Louvre robbers. The AO3ification of so many events this year has been so fun to watch. I love it. Love it. You had Carlos from Spain, who's 19 and good with computers. He hacked into the mainframe. Brianne, 18, from the United States, who planned the whole thing, so she's like very smart, right? You had Evan, 19, from Hong Kong, who dropped the crown on purpose. Vienna from Italy, 19, who is the main fighter of the group. And you also had Lola, 17, who is also from the US, and she distracted the guards. This only got more funny when people got a hold of that certain TikTok where they were speaking about the headcanons and started filming different POVs of set characters. Of course, there were a lot of AO3 fics about this, and I also loved them. They were so fun. This was so deeply unserious, and I had a lot of fun with this. The Louvre robbers were also some of the most popular costumes for Halloween this year. Now, the board is no longer here, the tier list is no longer here, but I can tell you that the Louvre heist lends itself in the Lisa Rinna M&M tier. This was so fun, and I just wish that I had remembered about it when I was filming because, oh my god, so many funny things came from this, and I will never forgive myself for forgetting about it. But yeah, this was deeply unserious. I loved every second of it. This was just so much fun. I love the internet where shit like this happens. People are just allergic to being serious about these kinds of events, and I love that. Anyway, back to the board. Now, I don't know if you remember, but on September 23rd, the rapture actually happened. Well, it didn't, but anyway. Honestly, the rapture kind of fell off because like the press it got in September was like insane, but then I feel like everybody just kind of collectively forgot that it happened, even though it was like one of the funniest moments of like mass psychosis I have ever seen on the internet.
As many of you know, the rapture's on Tuesday.
Basically what happened was there was a rumor that started somewhere in like the Christian internet circles where apparently the rapture was going to happen on September 23rd, and these people started like making videos about it and like preparing for it with very different and weird approaches. Let's just say that. Some of them were selling their like mortal possessions like cars, houses, other items. I'm like, oh my god. They were also looking for different signs. There was a specific couple of influencers that I remember like ridiculing other people who didn't believe the rapture was happening and being like, you're gonna stay here and we're all gonna go like live with Jesus now. And I was just like, okay, sure. The funniest thing that came out of it was definitely people pranking these folks who believed that the rapture was happening by using like trumpets, I think, because they're meant to like signify that the angel are like coming or something. And the videos of people like believing that they were actually, oh my God. Honestly, they were way funnier to me than they probably should have been, but I don't care. This to me just proved that certain religious individuals are just very weird, and I just don't really vibe with that. Not gonna lie, as an agnostic, this whole thing was just very ridiculous. The rapture is gonna land itself in the I forgot tier because I genuinely did. But there were some funny things that came from it. Next, we're gonna have like a bit of a speed run through like different buzzwords and trends of 2025, starting with 6-7. No. This is one of those memes that honestly made me feel like I was a boomer. I have never understood it. I never thought it was funny. It was annoying, loud, persistent, unfunny, uninteresting. This is like the final form of that Skibbity toilet video from a couple years back, and I hate it with a burning passion. Like, imagine, the internet has made me actually like hate a number. It's just a number. And now whenever I see it, my blood starts boiling. 6-7 lands in the Cardi B court case photos. I hate this. Another big trend this year was, of course, Labubus. Probably the funniest things that came out of the whole Labubu trend was that one lady on TikTok that kept on making these videos like, I have the one and only 24 karat gold Labubu.
I am the owner of the famous 24 karat gold Labubu.
That did also become my vocal stem. I thought these videos were so funny, and the edits with them were also just like hilarious, because I think somebody made like an edit to that audio of like C-3PO from Star Wars. I definitely saw one with Edward Cullen from the Twilight Saga. That was fucking hilarious. Although the lady that created that meme decided to just fully ruin her like 5 minutes of internet fame by making a KSI Labubu and painting it in blackface, which was very weird. I still don't understand what honestly possessed her to do this. This was so stupid and just so like, nobody asked for that, really. Now, when it comes to Labubus themselves, I don't like them. I find them very creepy looking. I kind of think of Labubus as like the ultimate way of capitalism milking us for money with the most like ugly, stupid, dumb looking things. But on the other hand, there are a few things that came out of this trend outside of the 24 karat gold Labubu lady that I did find very funny. First of all, there was the Labubu POV TikTok, which was hilarious, but also it got very, very, very dark in certain places. Basically, the whole point was that people were filming videos from like the perspective of a Labubu because they're like very small. And not gonna lie, I was tapped in. And there was also the Labubu sound, which, well, I don't know what to really call it, is where people would like record videos of them just like doing the Labubu sounds, like Labubu, you know, that sort of thing. Labubu. The problem is that also did catch my attention, and it also became a vocal stem of mine to the point that I once did it during a lecture. So for context, I am a uni student, right? I study sociology. I'm a second year, and I had this lecture that I was very, very bored at. I was sitting there with my friend, and I was just doing nothing. I think I was just scrolling through like Twitter or Instagram or something, and then randomly, my brain just decided to just say Labubu at the fucking top of my lungs in this lecture. Well, maybe not top of my lungs, but like, you know, I was just sitting there. The professor is like talking something, and I suddenly go like Labubu. At the exact moment, the entire class got silent. I thought I would die, actually. Labubus are gonna be landing in the I forgot tier. I don't like them. There are a few things that came out of the whole trend that were funny, but like just in general, Labubus are not funny to me, and they're just in general like very creepy looking. I don't like Labubus. Another consumerist trend this year was also Dubai chocolate, which no, just no. This is gonna be a quick one. I think Dubai chocolate is absolutely disgusting. I think I tasted it like once. It was absolutely not. It looks like vomit. It's expensive as hell. It has Dubai in its name, which immediately I'm like, no thank you. Dubai chocolate lands in the Cardi B court case photos. I hate this. Another big trend this year were, of course, performative males. So basically what this was men trying to dress slightly more feminine. They were reading feminist literature, drinking matcha, buying Labubus, reading books in like public spaces, and they were also like listening to Clara, I think, which... Imagine being Clara. She's had a crazy couple of years. First, there was the Clara shade that happened last year. Now this. Girl, where is she gonna catch a break? I really didn't care much about this until I like realized what this was doing when people started talking about like the way that this is like men trying to get closer to women by pretending that they're like into their interests, which I personally find very disgusting, and I wish men would start behaving like normal people and not being fucking creeps. Also, I do have a personal beef with this specific trend because I did once get called a performative male for reading a book in a train. And mind you, this was the book. The first part of the Septimus Heap series. How is that?
I hate my life and nobody can hear me say it.
Performative males are going to be landing in the what the hell sure tier. Mostly because there were a few funny things that came out of it. Mostly the performative male contest. Those were very funny. But just in general, I hated this trend. And the more I understood it, the more I was like, absolutely not. Can we just stop? Now, I hate talking about politics in a video like this, but I do also think that this year of all years was very, very politically charged. And unfortunately, a lot of those things did sort of have an impact on pop culture as a whole. So I'm just going to talk about a few of them that I personally found, like, I guess the funniest. I don't really think it's like the correct way of putting it, but like they were like slightly less terrible than other things that happened. Let's just call it that. And they had a little whimsy to them. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but okay, let's just start with the JD Vance edits. This trend really ramped up at the time of him becoming vice president of the United States. But I think when it really hit that like fever pitch was when President Zelensky of Ukraine visited the White House and got treated horribly. And of course, everybody was like disgusted by what Trump and Vance were doing. And there was a specific quote from Vance that started making rounds on social media. He was basically insinuating that Zelensky was like ungrateful for the help he's received. Immediately, I hate, and the internet was very upset, and I very much understand why. So what they started to do was they brought back the edits from back when he got elected as vice president and just went to town with them. What I really loved about these edits was how subtle the changes were in several places, because like some people would take pictures of Vance and they would like slightly modify them to the point that you don't even know how he looks like now. I genuinely don't remember how he looks like now because I've seen so many of these edits. Like if you were to put like 5 pictures in front of me and one of them would be correct and the rest would be like slightly edited, I would not be able to tell you which one was the correct one. I genuinely don't remember how he looks like now. So I guess the internet did its job, I guess. But whenever people would like go crazy on these edits and they were like make him bold or like turn him into, I think there was they turned him into like that kid from Shrek 4 that is like, you know, the little kid with like the lollipop or the hat, the propeller hat or something. Like he looks like Balloon Boy in that picture to me, and that is uncanny. This guy got absolutely smoked by the internet, and I kind of love that. Like, good job to everyone involved. JD Vance edits are gonna be going into the Cardi B court case photos, mostly because I hate this man, but I did find the trend very funny. But then again, you also have to like think of why this really ramped up, and the reason is, in my opinion, like absolutely horrible. So I'm not gonna be giving too much praise to this trend because it reminds me of like very awful and disgusting things, really. Another thing that happened this year when it comes to politics was Donald Trump becoming the first bisexual president of the United States. This all happened because a few emails or like mails or whatever that were related to Donald Trump, like Epstein, Vladimir Putin, and a couple other people, including Bill Clinton, were leaked. And somewhere in those like mails, Putin allegedly insinuated that Donald Trump gave somebody a BJ. I don't think I can say it on YouTube. I think I'm gonna get like demonetized or something. So like Google what that is, I guess. That's someone that received said act of service from Mr. Trump was named Bubba. And then it only got crazier because we found out that Bubba is the nickname that Bill Clinton used to have. And then it only got even crazier, honestly, when we learned that Bubba is also the name of a horse. So the internet ran with it, as it should. The memes were everywhere. They were inescapable. They were so funny. But also, I would say the funniest thing that came out of it was that AO3 fanfic, where somebody wrote a Donald Trump x Bill Clinton fanfiction. I haven't read it. One of my friends actually read it, and she said that it was like genuinely like actually pretty good. So like, honestly, AO3 is like one of the greatest websites on the planet. It's so good. I love AO3 users. Love them. Also, this isn't like related to the whole Bubba thing, or it's also not going to be like ranked separately, but there was that one moment on Twitter where everybody thought that Trump had kicked it. Let's just say, had moved on from the mortal plane. I think this was at the end of August. And this was one of the funniest days to be on Twitter, where everybody was just like speculating whether he like actually, went away for good. Donald Trump and Bill Clinton are going to be landing in what the hell? Sure, mostly because I hate the people that are related to this whole thing. However, I did find it very amusing in places. It was very fun to be on the internet the day that those mails dropped. So I'm going to leave it here, mostly because I hate them, but yeah, the whole thing was actually pretty funny. Now we're going to be moving to like a series of pop culture moments that have to do something with celebrities. And the first one is just in general, Katy Perry. Katy Perry has had a very, very interesting year despite being in an active flop era. First, she went to space for 30 minutes with like a group of like all female astronauts to announce her set list for a flop tour that was promoting a flop album. They wasted so much money on this, so much fuel, caused so much pollution just for them to like go there for 30 minutes. I genuinely, when I was first seeing like articles about like Katy Perry going to space, I genuinely thought that she was gonna like live there for a couple months. She was gonna like live at a space station or something, or like, I don't know, because it does sound like something that Katy Perry would genuinely do. And then it turns out that they were like there for like 30 minutes. Can somebody explain to me why this was necessary? I also really, really hate that some people try to label this as like a feminist achievement. Like, wow, you sent an all-female astronaut group to space for 30 minutes. They didn't do shit. They just stayed there for 30 minutes, recorded a video with Katy Perry, and then came back down to Earth. That's not an achievement. Another really, really interesting thing that Katy Perry decided to do this year was start dating Justin Trudeau, aka the ex-Prime Minister of Canada. Honestly, a lot of people were very, very surprised by this, but honestly, to me, this feels very on brand for Katy Perry. She's just like random like that. This is something that Katy Perry just does. She goes to space, she dresses as Ellen for an entire like album rollout, she decides to become Egyptian for a music video, she gets slimed at the Kids' Choice Awards, she wears some of the weirdest fashion you will ever see, she stars in Just Eat commercials. That's just kind of what she does. I'm gonna put Katy Perry in the I forgot tier because whilst yes, she did create some like iconic and like culturally relevant moments this year, I also thought that a lot of them were bad. And just in general, like I don't know. I don't know about Katy Perry anymore. Like I have very, very mixed feelings on her. So I'm just gonna leave her here. This was also the year that Trisha Paytas took her third victim in the form of Ozzy Osbourne. The fact that this theory is still relevant is crazy. Like the amount of internet lore you need to understand in order for this to make sense is crazy. But basically, I'm gonna speedrun you through the entire thing. Basically, Trisha Paytas has 3 kids, right? The first one was born, I think, the same day that Queen Elizabeth died. And basically, everybody on the internet decided that this baby was the reincarnation of Queen Elizabeth. Then her next baby was meant to be the reincarnation of the Pope, who also passed away like a year ago, I think. And this September, she gave birth to her third baby, who she decided to name Aquaman, who was born literal hours after the passing of Ozzy Osbourne. And you know what is even crazier is that this theory actually makes so much sense when you think about specifically this third baby, because the name of said baby is Aquaman. And you know who hosted the last concert Ozzy Osbourne played? Jason Momoa, aka the actor that portrayed Aquaman. Like, the actual, like, how does this work? How does this connect? Why does this make sense? Another funny thing was that many people were complaining that Trisha didn't like take out Trump with this baby. And unfortunately, we also know that she's not going to be taking out Trump anytime soon, because she has decided to not have any more babies. So that means, you know, the gates have been closing, and all of the celebrities are now safe from being reincarnated as Trisha Paytas' children. Her reign of terror has finally ended. What an internet saga. Like, this was crazy to witness and to be a part of. Like, I love the internet. I love the internet specifically for moments like these. They're so funny. The Trisha Paytas Ozzy Osbourne theory is gonna land in the Yassified to maintain anonymity tier. This was also a huge year for Cat's Eye. I have been following them, I would say, pretty much since like late 2024. This was post like Touch and other songs that they released for that first EP, but they had a huge year this year. They dropped an EP with some really, really good songs on it, although I do want an album from them. So I hope that the next thing they drop is a full album, not like 5 songs on an EP. Like, come on, girls. They had very, very iconic moments with these songs. Like, for example, Gnarly. Many people really, really disliked this song. I personally loved it from the jump. It was really, really fun. The music video, the performances, the dance trend that it inspired. Then they followed that up with Gabriella, which also became a viral hit. Many people were doing the dance because it is like very, very addictive to look at. Even though like, I don't understand the physics of it. Like, how are they doing that with their head? Like, I don't understand that. They got 2 Grammy nominations. They got slimed at the Kids' Choice Awards, just like Katy Perry did a couple years back. They were just, in general, like very iconic, created a lot of memes, and also starred in a Gap commercial.
Milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. And clap.
This was, of course, the same year that a certain lady did a certain ad for a certain denim company called American Eagle that was not received very well because, well, if you watch it, I think you can very clearly tell why. This ad dropping like literally a month after is some of the most like genius marketing I've ever seen. And also the ad just in general, I've watched that ad so many times. It's so good. Their choreo in this. They also created some very, very fun memes. Like, my favorite probably is Lara, one of the members, and her yes meme. That cracks me up.
Yes.
This is so funny, and it's also so flexible. I've used that meme for so many different things. I just really appreciate how much personality they have and how fun they are. They just never get boring. Cat's Eye are gonna be landing in the Lisa Rinna M&M's tier because they deserve it. They are iconic, and I love their work. I am so excited to see what they do in the future.
Eat zucchini. Eat zucchini.
This is also a very, very huge year for Zara Larsson, and I'm so happy to be able to say that. She has been at it for years, producing really, really good music, having very iconic moments, but for some reason, the general public just didn't really care for Zara Larsson. And this year, she finally kind of made her breakthrough and cemented herself as an icon. She kind of showed us like a masterclass in branding as well. She took that symphony meme from last year, you know, the one, and just made a full like album era around it. And I love that. This era was also designed to show everybody how insanely talented of a performer, of a singer, of a writer she is. And I think she accomplished all of that to the absolute maximum. I would say all of the Zara Larsson hype trains really, really started when she was announced as the opener for Tate McRae's tour, which many people were very like confused about because Zara has been in this industry longer. She's probably also like more known than Tate, but also Tate has a very, very big following. So I would say that this was what really jump-started everything, because people were posting videos of Zara performing her hit song, Midnight Sun, and we're being like, oh my gosh, she is incredible. How is she an opener? And that led to the release of her new album called Midnight Sun as well, which did very, very well. And she then embarked on another tour, which had more iconic moments, like, for example, the Lush Life dance becoming a trend thanks to some of the people who she brought up on stage to dance with her. She also got a Grammy nomination for Midnight Sun. She was featured on the Stateside remix with Pink Pantheress. She created an entire like aesthetic that is so clear, and I love it so much because it's so colorful, it's so loud, it's so vibrant. It goes against, you know, the clean girl trends, the very like muted colors that people have started like choosing and that have been gaining more traction. I love it. Zara Larsson lands herself in the Lisa Rinna Eminem's tier. This is also a very, very huge year for Taylor Swift. Although I feel like every year is huge for Taylor Swift, like she always does iconic things. But this year specifically, I mean, she released a new album called The Life of a Showgirl, which hasn't been received very well. She was kind of like at the center of a very, very big hate campaign, but I'm very, very glad to see it sort of fizzle out and people starting to realize that it was all like pretty much just pointless. She has a new concert film out from the Eras Tour, which is like the extended cut that includes the Torture Poets Department set list. She also has a new documentary that is ending today at the time of me filming it, which is called End of an Era. She also got her masters back, which was a fucking huge moment. Like, she has been fighting for these masters for years. She started re-recording her albums, all of that, and finally she has them, and it was such a happy moment. I was so happy to be able to go back and stream some of her older music because, listen, that stolen version of Speak Now, ooh. And then, of course, I would say probably the biggest moment of the year was her engagement to Travis Kelce. I was very, very happy about this. Like, call me parasocial, I don't care. I was happy for my girl. She has been suffering with these horrible, horrible men for ages. She's written so many good songs about that. But like, finally, she found somebody that she could trust and that she's gonna, you know, be happy with. And I wish them all the best. I'm so happy for them. Taylor lands in the Lisa Rinna Eminem's tier. As she showed, she was iconic, and she always is iconic. This was a huge year for her that I pretty much loved fully, except of course for like the hate train that she received, which was again very, very weird, but I've already talked about that enough in many other videos, so that doesn't really matter that much. And also, before we move on to the next moment, I do quickly want to say that the meltdowns some people were having about this engagement were so hilarious. Like, Gaylors. Now, amongst all the very important celebrity moments this year and also celebrity coming outs, I think the one that shocked the internet the most was Nicki Minaj coming out as MAGA. But honestly, like, everybody is acting surprised. I am not surprised in the slightest. Like, have you seen this woman's Twitter activity? Nicki Minaj has been a flop for a while now. I would say ever since like 2019, she has been just like on a constant downgrade. She married a criminal. She has been attacking every single girl that comes into the rap industry or like hip hop industry, including some that aren't even in the industry. Like, how are you beefing with SZA of all people? And also, a couple days ago, at the time of me filming this video, she decided to make an appearance at what is it? It's called Turning Point USA, I believe, with Erica Kirk on stage, which that was a fever dream of a video. Like, honestly, imagine your husband gets killed and you're over there in a sequin like suit going out with Nicki Minaj on a Turning Point USA stage with like fireworks and pyro and super bass by Nicki Minaj playing in the background. Honestly, as a longtime fan of The Boys and also Gen V, this makes sense to me. They predicted everything. These writers deserve a raise and they deserve respect. Nicki Minaj lands herself in the Cardi B court case photos. I guess, pun intended. I don't know. But either way, we stand Cardi and we also stand Megan Thee Stallion. Love them. They're great. We love them. Anyways, I do also just want to say that I think this was like one of the stupidest things she could have possibly done, because like her fan base is like 90% queer people and also people of color. And you're just like turning all of them away from you. You're disappointing them and like advocating against them. Smart as hell, really. And speaking of horrible, horrible moments, we have to unfortunately talk about another thing that happened this year, which was submitted so many times. I really just wanted to do this video without talking about it, but I guess I can't. So I'm just gonna briefly go through it. We have to talk about the We Are Charlie Kirk song. I hate AI, but also like I do find it very hilarious that this song sounds exactly like the Israeli entry for Eurovision 2025. Like, you cannot tell me that this isn't just like an AI version of New Day Will Rise.
We are Charlie Kirk.
New day will rise.
And by the way, yes, I do hate both of them. This whole thing though has been ridiculous, and like a lot of people are like making fun of it because it is like, you know, I don't think this is meant to be taken serious. But I have seen people on the internet being like empowered by the power of this song and be like, yes, we are Charlie Kirk. Like, girl, We Are Charlie Kirk lands in the Cardi B court case. Photos, I hate this. 2025 was also a big year for chronically online gay people because Dan and Phil confirmed that they have been in a relationship together for 16 years. I do, however, think that this is where I'm gonna show my age a little bit, because I did not know who Dan and Phil were prior to this news coming out. I'm gonna get stoned in the comments for that. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not like, I wasn't like on the internet like that when I was a kid. I didn't have access to the internet until I was like, honestly, like 12, really. That's when I first started sort of like exploring different places on the internet. And I did start with Wattpad, but I never really even wandered onto like Tumblr or YouTube really until I was like 15. And actually I didn't even wander onto Tumblr at all. I only started my Tumblr account like this year, so I missed that as well. So yeah, unfortunately I have no idea who these people are. Apparently they're very popular and they're also very funny. I started following their podcast. Some clips of it are very funny. I find them very charming. I do not know who they are though. So I am sorry to the Dan and Phil fans watching. I'm gonna put Dan and Phil in the I forgot tier because I love gay people and I'm happy that gay people are being gay people out, you know, in public. Go gay people. But at the same time, I have no recollection of who these people are. So it just kind of fits the tier, I guess. I don't know. I feel like 2025 saw a big rise of like Puritan culture and many people, you know, clutching their pearls whenever somebody would do something slightly suggestive. But on the other hand, you also had people who are actively going against that movement, and I love them for that. A great example of that is Cupcake, who dropped her new album this year called The Bakery. This album is unironically very, very fun. I've listened to it a couple times. I find it very, very fun. I think it's good. I would like sell a kidney to be able to see Cupcake live. I think that would be like a healing experience for me in a way. This album created so many funny memes. Like, for example, basically the entirety of Sloppy Joe when she's just like, Monday, eat my ass.
Tuesday, eat my ass.
Love that song. Love that song. There was also, I believe, one content creator who is like known for doing like flop talk, like opera moments or stuff like that. I think her name is like Isabella, who went to a Cupcake concert and started singing opera, and there are videos of her like singing opera at a Cupcake concert. I love Cupcake. I also love this album. She deserves some more recognition, honestly, because many people are like talking her down to just being like a meme. But she's not. Like, this girl knows how to rap. She knows how to write bars. She is extremely talented. Like, you'll need to give her her flowers. Cupcake lands in the Yassified to maintain anonymity tier. We only have 2 more moments to rank, and the next one is JoJo Siwa and her tradwife era. Ooh, that rhymed. So as you can tell, this was a big year for JoJo Siwa, but I don't know if I would say that in a good way. She competed on Celebrity Big Brother, which actually I don't really know much about that because I didn't watch Big Brother. I don't think I've ever seen a season of Big Brother, but there are a few things that happened whilst JoJo was in the house. First, there was that creepy man that kept on like being very, very weird towards her, like saying that she's like queer or a lesbian, or I don't know what she identified as, but yeah, he got removed from the house, and that was good because he was making everyone uncomfortable, including me, even though I didn't watch the show. But then she also found a guy in the Big Brother house who is like 10 years older than her, I believe, and she decided to start dating him and start kissing him on national television while she was in a relationship with someone, meaning that she was fully just cheating on her girlfriend with this guy on national television. Also, she put out her own version of Betty Davis Eyes, which is horrible. First of all, her raspy voice in this is just like genuinely like if you were like scratching nails on a like chalkboard or something. But it's horrible. And also that's where the whole like tradwife aesthetic came in. Like she just decided to dress as a tradwife for a music video, and everybody was like, oh my God. Honestly, I kind of do feel bad for her because it's clear that there's something very, very wrong, and maybe there are some problems that haven't been addressed yet. But at the same time, she only keeps on doing weirder and weirder things, and I don't know if there's much defending JoJo Siwa really. At least I'm happy that people have finally moved on from her trying to represent Poland in Eurovision, because that was terrifying for a second. I'm gonna put JoJo Siwa in the what the hell shirt here. I don't think what she has been doing this year is like that bad, but I also just like don't really, I don't know, I don't really engage with that side of the internet. I've seen so many people do like full-on video essays of what she's doing now, and I'm like, yeah, but also I don't know, I just don't really keep up with the JoJo Siwa side of the internet really. So I'm just gonna leave that here. We have reached our final moment of the year that I want to rank, our 31st moment, and I think it's very fitting to end with a pop culture phenomenon that has been going on for the past few weeks that fully just like overtook internet. And that, of course, has to be heated rivalry. Now, for the record, at the time of me filming this video, it's the day before Christmas, so 23rd of December. I have not seen all the episodes that are currently up. I've seen episodes from 1 to 4. I have not seen episode 5, and I am waiting for episode 6 to drop to watch that because I want to watch them together. And I love this show. I love that gay shows are now getting so much steam, when you have like major streaming companies like, for example, Netflix taking off She-Ra, which is like the #1 queer lesbian animated show to ever exist. It's like actually one of my favorite animated shows I've ever seen. Or when you have the, overall like rise of conservatism all over the globe. I think it's very, very cool to see that there is still so much demand and so many people who are willing to watch and support, the creations of queer people. This show is actually like surprisingly good. The first time I saw people talking about it, I genuinely thought that it was just because of like hot sex scenes, which arguably, yeah, there are a few, but actually the plot of it and the realism of it and, being queer and being in a closet in the spotlight, and also how the sports of it all and that sort of industry kind of makes everything twice as complicated. I honestly love it. I'm so happy to get like a good gay show by the end of the year. It's been really, really fun to watch it and to lose my mind just like everybody else. This was honestly one of my favorite moments of the year, and it's still going on, so I love it. I also love that this is, a show made by Crave Canada, which of course like not many people are gonna like know what that is, and it's also featuring plenty of actors that also nobody has ever seen before. Like these are fresh new faces coming into the industry and just like getting insane recognition right off the bat. Well, maybe not right off the bat. I'm assuming that they've been working for like a long time to get to this point, but I'm so happy that this show popped off the way that it did. I'm so excited for season 2 because I do believe that it got renewed, and I'm just, I love everything about it. Heated Rivalry is our last moment of the year, and it's gonna land in the Lisorina M&M's tier. And with that, we have completed our tier list. Of course, make sure to let me know your thoughts down below about my tier list, whether you, I don't know, might have ranked something differently, or whether I missed some pop culture moment that you personally would have loved to see ranked. I'm definitely going to be engaging with a lot of the comments. And also, I would like to quickly tell you about a fun little thing that I started. I have now a Google Forms link in my description into which you can input different video ideas if you have any that you would like to see me cover. And that is mostly because I have gotten a lot of comments recommending me to do like different videos. And these comments kind of get lost in the ether because I do sort of forget to come back to them later. So having all of that in one place would be really, really fun. So if you have any videos that you potentially would like to see me do in the future, in January or whenever, probably in the next year though, make sure to check out the Google Forms in the description box below and enter your video idea. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you made it till the end, I love you so much. Make sure to remember to subscribe, to like the video, to comment down below again. Follow me on all of my other socials. I want to wish you the happiest new year. I hope all of your dreams and plans come true in the next year. And I hope that next year is also going to be, you know, a good time for this YouTube channel. I hope that you're going to be enjoying the content that I'm planning. I've already have some very fun plans for January specifically. And I cannot wait to put them into fruition. So once again, thanks so much for watching. And I will see you in the new year. But until then, take care and bye.